Hey, beautiful people. Okay, had to do a mic check. Make sure y'all can hear me. And make sure I can see the chat. Okay. Hey, Artivore. Happy Sunday. So, yeah, happy Sunday, beautiful people. So, I decided to go to Sprouts. I didn't go to the farmer's market. Y'all know normally I go to the farmer's market. I normally wake up on Sunday. I go to farmer's market. But I had to change my routine up. Every now and then you gotta switch it up. So I've really been liking Sprouts. So if you have a Sprouts near you, you definitely have to check them out. I really feel like they're just as good as a farmer's market, really. I mean they are a variation of a farmer's market. I get it. But when you walk into the farmer's market versus Sprouts, you definitely see a difference. Um, but I kind of enjoyed the Sprouts because it wasn't as crowded. I told y'all every Sunday when I go to the farmer's market, it's like a line out front. Um, there is more to choose from at the farmer's market. So definitely when it comes to like your meats and stuff. Okay. It took me out, y'all. It took me out. Hey Hassan, let me go ahead and put my watch on D and D so it doesn't do that again. It tried to take me out, y'all. Okay. Sometimes my watch can affect my camera. It's a good thing to have when I'm working out, but not when I'm trying to juice. Okay. So some of these fruits and veggies you may recognize, some of them you may not. I didn't put the carrots up here. Let me move the camera so y'all can see more of the fruits and veggies a little more. I feel like they're kind of out of frame just a little bit. Okay. Just move y'all over some. So here, I have to go with well, you know what? I'm not going to talk about each item until I'm actually going to put them in there. So let me go ahead and plug up my juicer. I'm just interested to see what color I'm going to get. As you can see, yep, you see pineapple. So I do have pineapple here. I forgot to put the carrots up here, but I have yellow carrots. So yellow carrots right here. Nope, no banana. No banana. That's funny. So the color scheme we got going on here is we definitely got the yellow, kind of like the reddish, and then we kind of got a gold color here. So I'm trying to figure out which color is gonna overtake which color because as y'all know, beets tend to take over any color, especially if you get the red beets. These are the gold beets. So I'm trying to figure out if they're going to take over and I get really like a gold yellow juice. So what is it, Princess Bree? What's going on? Thank you for joining the chat and saying hi. Yeah, no bananas, Hassan. There are no bananas up here. You'll be surprised. Matter of fact, let me go get y'all some of the carrots. Okay. So right here are the carrots. I'm gonna put these out front just so y'all can see them. I almost thought about adding. I do have an orange carrot. I don't know. It came in the bag. So I almost thought about adding an orange carrot. We'll see what the color's looking like to decide if I'm going to add it in there or not. But let me plug my juicer back in. I don't know. I feel like the gold beets are already going to take over. So, matter of fact, I'm going to do the gold beets last because I feel like they're going to take over from the jump. The pineapples. So I got me a fresh pineapple. Cut it up myself. So I'm going to break these down to smaller pieces. But y'all know pineapples are very good for anti-inflammatory properties. Y'all know I'm big on anything that's going to help with inflammation. As I deal with stage 4 endometriosis and adenomyosis, those are very big with inflammation. So anytime I stress or eat something that just doesn't match with me, I get inflammation. So pineapple would definitely start being something I use a little more often. I don't think I realized that they're good for the anti-inflammatory properties. They also help reduce pain and the protein digestive relief. So it's good with if you get constipated, gas, and bloating. So it's almost trying to come from my ginger root. I know I love me some ginger root because of its properties. The pineapple is coming in really close with what it provides. So we're gonna start with the pineapple. It's so slippery. I'm gonna cut these up a little more because I don't think they're gonna fit the mouth of my juicer with how big I have them. See if we can get that in there. There we go. I had to cut these up pretty small to go in here. So we're gonna start with pineapple, and then I can't wait to show y'all some of this other stuff we have up here. I want y'all to kind of guess what these are. That's what I really want y'all to guess. See what that is. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the pineapple. Let me get my juices together so it's not going everywhere. There we go. My safety latch gotta go on, and let's start with the pineapple. So for the most part, a lot of the fruits and veggies I have up here is gonna give me a lot of volume. So remember I told you all when it comes to juicing, a lot of times you want to find those fruits and veggies that will give you that high volume. That way you don't have to use so many ingredients. Nope, it's not. And it's not plum, but you're close. You're definitely it's kind of a plum. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm excited to talk about that one the most. Y'all know I would try to go with something a little new. So it's not quite a plum, but you're in the family because it basically is. Um, so I'm gonna add. Well, okay, I'm not gonna add too much more because pineapple does a really good job of juicing. Like we'll see what it's looking like at the end, but I'm gonna add just a few more. Okay, so right now, of course, we're looking really yellow, the pineapple. So I kind of try to keep it in a order of the color. So let's go with the rainbow. Nope, not pomegranate. Let's go with the rainbow carrots next. So rainbow carrots, as you know, they can come in purple, yellow, orange. They look delicious. Yeah. Carmelo, what's going on? So rainbow carrots good for fiber, potassium, vitamin C, and vitamin K. We'll see how much this produces. Digestive health, blood pressure. So, and of course, y'all already know carrots just are very good for eye health. Can't go wrong. The heck is rainbow carrots? Just different color carrots. That's all. It's just different colors. So I don't think I ever. Well, no, I do see the rainbow carrots at the farmers market. Yeah, normally it's just like the purple. For the most part, all I see is purple, yellow, and orange. But I think I did read where they also have red. Um, but of course, right now it's just a very, very yellow color. If y'all can see that, which I mean, I kind of knew that from using the pineapple, and then we went to the yellow rainbow carrots. Like I said, I might add the orange one, maybe, but I kind of want to see because we already have. So this is what a beet looks like. This is a gold beet. Um, I'm gonna skip it for now because beets, like I said, they just take over the color. Hey Teresa, what's going on? Good morning. I normally hate the juices which have a lot of foam on top, those bubbles on top. Yeah, because that's what the carrots just did. The pineapples didn't really have all that foam, but when I did the carrots, yeah, now it has like that foam on top. So then when you put it in the refrigerator and it sits, yeah, it tends to have a lot of foam sitting around the container. So okay, let me go to these next. I'm kind of excited. So this is actually a nectarine. This is called a yellow nectarine. These are low calorie, high fiber. So when it comes to like weight loss, if you're looking for a good fruit, a nectarine is good because of the low calorie, but it also helps with digestive system. So that fiber. It also has vitamin C. It can help boost your immune system. Um, Iron absorption, vitamin A. So you already know that helps with vision. Um, so it can help with them cataracts. So yellow nectarine, that's what this is right here. I'm gonna go with that next just because I kind of want to see how it's gonna produce, especially with leaving some of the skin on. I kept the skin on there because I want to see if it would bring some of that red into the drink or the juice. Um, and then we'll go from there. So let me just grab, I'm gonna grab one more. So all of this pretty much will produce some good juice. The heck is a golden beet. You know, they just come out with different colors of everything nowadays. Um, oh really? Yeah, nectarines are pretty good. So let's see how it does. Okay, so it did add like a pink flavor, a pink color to the juice. But because the yellow is so overpowering, you really can't see it. You probably have to mix it up before you can really see it. But I know for sure that when I add in this next fruit, it's really gonna affect the color because as you guys can see, so this is what it looks like as whole. It's very small. So this is what it looks like whole, and I cut it in half. That way you can see what it looks like. See that really nice color? I love the way that looks, right? So you were almost close, Hassan. See, I'm glad you learned something new. You were close though when you said plum. You're gonna probably laugh when you hear the name of it. It's actually called a red plum cot. So it's a mix of it's a hybrid of a plum and an apricot. So it's called plum cot. Yeah, so it does look identical. Yeah, it's a mix between plum and apricot. So this also has the vitamin A, vitamin C, potassium, fiber. So when I tell y'all when I juice, I definitely should have no problem using the bathroom, but it doesn't always help. So these are also low calorie. So with the nectarine and the plum plot, you can't really go wrong as far as if you're trying to look for something that's low calorie fruit. These are pretty good. They're pretty small in size. I didn't go over. Yeah, it's a plum clot. I didn't go over the price with y'all so far. I think the pineapple was like $3.99 for a pineapple, which is actually a pretty good price because a lot of times when you go to like the store and you want to buy it pre-cut, it's like $5. So you save and you get more of a pineapple. The yellow nectarines cost $2.57. I think I may have gotten six of those. And then the red plum clot was I think $3.99 a pound. So mine came out a little cheaper because I didn't get quite a pound, but I did get six of them. The rainbow carrots were $2.99 for the bag, and we'll go over the gold beet when I get there. So let's go ahead and see what the red plum plot is gonna do. I think it's gonna kind of do like the nectarine, where it's gonna add more of a red pinkish tint to it. Um, but there's different. You see how this is the same fruit, right? But you see how different. One is super light. So you know, you guys. It just depends on what you're going for as far as taste. Let's see. That's not really that sweet. Let's see if I take a darker one. Kind of messy, but we're gonna throw it in there. Um. So yeah, the darker, the sweeter. So I will say that. So I'm just gonna throw in the rest of. Well, I ain't gonna throw all of it in. We're gonna see what it looks like first, but I'm gonna throw most of it in. So yeah, I think it's gonna kind of turn it like a red color. Yeah, so red plum cloud. That's the reason why I got it because I'd never heard of it before, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So exactly what I thought. It has that pink color, so this definitely would have been good to have when we did. What was that? The pink flamingo. So that would have been good to have for that because it definitely gave it that pink hue. So, like I said, this container's brown, so you probably really can't see it. But on my end, I can see where the pink is starting to mix in towards the bottom. So now I'm kind of interested to see what the gold beets are going to do. So, you know, when you buy gold or when you buy beets in general, they come in like, I forgot what the name is. The bunch. I think it's considered a bunch. But gold beets, yeah, I know beets have always been my go-to just because of their anti-inflammatory properties. Um, so that's why I used to love to go to them. But like I said, they take over any drink you put them in. So I kind of pulled off from using beets, but I really want to use these gold beets. Um, yeah, you're right, Hassan. The pink flamingo punch. So gold beets are good in fiber, vitamin C, and folate. So I always tell my ladies who are trying to get pregnant, gold beets give, or beets in general, will give you that natural folate instead of having to get it from vitamins. Just in case you don't have the resources to get folate, um, like in a pill form. Minerals, potassium, reduce inflammation, like I already said. So it does have nitrates, and nitric oxide improves your blood flow and oxygen delivery to muscles. So if you're an athlete, they say it could potentially improve performance. So I don't know, but I'm gonna add some in here. We're looking pretty good as far as how much juice I'll probably be able to make. Looks like I'm gonna get a good amount. So probably shouldn't even put that much in. I already know how beets juice. They juice pretty well. So also when juicing the beets, sometimes people like to leave that hard the because this exterior is kind of hard. And remember, beets have a what do they consider, like a nature or ground like taste. But yeah, as you can see, this is the outside. When I cut it up, I pretty much try to skin the outer layer off because I didn't want it to cause issues with my juicer. But some people just leave it on. I think last time I did beets, I left it on, but just to make it easier, I did cut it off. And of course, you can see the inside has that golden look. So, but yeah, so beets only come in a bunch of 3. I'm getting hungry looking at all the fruit. Yeah, we'll see how this goes, Teresa. So beets also form that foam on top, Hassan. Aren't beets normally purple? They're more of like a maroon, like reddish color. They normally look more like this color. The average ones you see at the grocery store more have like that redder outer look. But I think when we did the Dracula juice, I don't know if you remember that one. Even though we were trying to go for that red, like bright red color, the beet just took over. So it's gonna have that darker color. Um, I thought my plum clots and the nectarine was gonna put up a little bit of a fight as far as the coloring, but it looks like for the most part, well, maybe I just have to mix it up. But it looks like for the most part, okay, it's putting up a little bit of fight as I mix it up. I only have to add, so I have to add the lemon and ginger root. That's what I have left. So I'm interested once I actually pour this in a jar, what it's gonna look like because it is starting to mix a little more. I'm finished now. Juice and apple. I'll be making watermelon juice throughout the. I thought about getting watermelon because I knew watermelon would aid in like that. Cause so basically, I've been juicing for like the past 2 months, and to keep myself like entertained, having fun with it, I started going based off of color. And so because I knew I was using carrots, pineapple, and the beets, I kind of wanted to kind of fight back with that color with a little bit of red. So I thought about getting watermelon, and I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like cutting up a watermelon. So, but watermelon is definitely good. That's gonna taste really, really good. Yeah, gotta have fun with it. Because my first started job, I would say this felt like a task. It felt like a chore. I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna keep this up, doing this once a week. So yeah, I almost gave up. And so I just had to change up my mindset on why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to help get those natural properties from, to help with my inflammation. I already told y'all I'm gonna start doing ginger shots. So y'all know this is my favorite thing to add to my juice. Like this is a signature. Ginger root is an antioxidant, so the anti-inflammatory. Um it helps reduce anti-inflammatory. It helps reduce inflammation, and then it also helps with insomnia. That's one thing I deal with. So a lot of times I have to take melatonin at night. Like I can just be dog tired, right? And want to go to sleep so bad. But for some reason, it's like my body just won't go to sleep. So I take melatonin, but I will say I am gonna start doing ginger shots. I told y'all the store was out of them the other day, but now I got a whole bunch. So I'm gonna add some to my juice, but then I'm also gonna take ginger shots in the morning. It also helps relieve stress and anxiety. Um, it has serotonin. It helps with serotonin and dopamine. And then y'all already know I was talking about the digestive properties. So like it helps with bloating and nausea. So this is like a win-win. You can't go wrong with ginger root. But the thing is, it's so spicy. That is the one hiccup when it comes to me really wanting to. I'm gonna cut this down a little more. I do not want a lot of ginger root. But that's the only thing that I hate, and I hate such a strong word. Dislike about ginger root is how spicy it is. Like I feel like it just takes over taste wise. So I don't really put a lot of ginger root. And now that I'm going to be taking ginger shots, I'm gonna cut back on how much I'm putting in my juice because I don't want it to take over the flavor. I was thinking of watermelon beets. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, beets are really good to take when you're on your cycle. So I definitely can't argue with that. I was doing too much. I put ginger and lime in every juice. That insomnia is no joke. Uh, yeah, I do. You're right, Hassan. I do. But I now just keep it simple. My juice prep, no more than 3 fruits and vegetables. One juice my mom and I was throwing a hope. So yeah, that's you're right. So I normally try so lemon. I either use lemon, lime, and ginger root. I always use 2 out of 3 of those. For the most part, I've been using lime. Not lime, lemon. I always say that. I've been using lemon more than I have lime. I think I normally only use lime when I'm doing like my gut health, like my green juices. So I'm always using lemon. But lemon, it has so many great benefits, especially if you just do lemon and water. But it relieves bloating as well. Vitamin C, so it fights off a lot of infection. It enhanced iron absorption. So I told y'all I was anemic for a very, very, very long time. So I've been trying to do things the natural way. I mean, I do take a lot of medication, but you know. And then also it helps regulate blood sugar. So you really can't go wrong with using lemon. Um, since when is there emoji for ginger root? Y'all are funny. But you're right. I was wasting a lot of fruits and veggies at one point too, because I normally just try to fill up 3 of these. Otherwise, I'm not gonna end up drinking because I take these are 16-ounce jars, and so I normally try to do 8 ounces a day, and then that takes me through 6 days, and then the seventh day I'm juicing again. So I was throwing away a lot of fruits and veggies, and I hated that. I feel like I was just wasting, especially when you look at what ends up in the waste container, the stuff that didn't juice. It's like you're wasting so much. On average, I will say I probably spend about $15 to $16. But I think it's pretty good when I'm getting 3 16-ounce containers worth. At most of your juice places, I feel like theirs can cost anywhere between 8 to 12 just for one. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good juicing on my own. Um, have you tried sunflower seeds with? No, I haven't. I haven't. So I have to look into that. I batch juice prep in my 24-ounce jars. Okay, one juice prep for the week. So yeah, this is normally what I do for the week. This will be my. This is it for the week for sure. Yeah. When I started calculating, the fact that I only go once a week, it doesn't seem that bad, right? Like, okay, $16 isn't bad. But when I thought about it for each week, I'm like, geez, when you add that up, it can get kind of costly, right? Um, but I do see the benefit, so that's the only reason why I keep going. But you're right. So I normally do, let's see, two, one, two, three, four. I try to stick with 4 to 5 fruits and veggies, and that takes out and that's not including like my lemon, lime, or ginger. Um, two of those. So yeah, I normally use about 4 or 5, but I definitely understand where you're coming from, especially if you get the fruits and veggies that are going to give you a lot of juice, of like the pineapple, really good for juicing. I think I told you a lot of your green veggies are really good, like your celery, your kale, your spinach. Those juice very, very well. Um, my definition of juicing is getting at least one juice to start my day. I still eat plant based foods in my day. Yeah. So normally I do the 8 ounce I like to juice or drink my juice maybe like it's either before my workout or after, depending on what I'm going to be doing. And also if I made breakfast. So if I don't eat breakfast, I like to drink some of my juice before I work out. But if I had a good breakfast, I'll save the juice for after I work out. I'm gonna pour a little bit. Well, I'm gonna squeeze some lemon in here. Y'all know I always do it this way. Can't go wrong. So let me tell y'all what I once heard about lemon at a restaurant. So I was told they throw, even though it's the outer layer that they put on the floor. I was told by somebody who worked at a restaurant that a lot of times the lemons sit on the floor. I don't know how true that is. And then all they do is cut it up and they stick it in your water. So I guess that little the outer layer does go in your drink. So I was always told when they ask you if you would like a lemon to say no, because they don't always take care of the lemon at the restaurant. If anybody works at a restaurant and you like to tell me that's not true, go ahead. Um, but yeah, I would never get lemon in my water at a restaurant. Right now, I'm doing a 30-day liquid detox, so just juice and smoothies, mostly juice stuff. Okay, wow, 30 days. Let me know if y'all do my podcast. Would love to hear more about your job. Oh, cool. So I'll definitely check out your channel once I get done, and I will reach out. Yeah, I do this because of my medical stuff. That's what got me started with juicing. Stage 4 endo, and then I have adenomyosis. And as I was doing more research, I found out it's an autoimmune disease that affects full body inflammation. So that's why it doesn't just affect the reproductive, it affects your whole abdominal cavity. And then I even was told that it can affect even the brain. So issues that it's done for me is it has affected my intestines, my bladder, my lungs, my liver. My right fallopian tube is blocked. They did have, yeah, I think I already said they did remove a part of my intestines. So yeah, I decided I want to do things the natural way. I was given so many different pills to take. I already told y'all I suck at swallowing pills, especially the big ones. But I've been trying to do my best. But in order to still give my body a fighting chance, this is why I do this. Same stage 4 endo. I know PCOS and 2 fibroids doing my surgery in 2020. Wow. So I had surgery in 2022. We're stuck together. I had large cyst on my right ovary that ruptured. So I had I had two cysts on both my ovaries. They ended up removing a really big fibroid. It ended up being two, but the one was really, really big. And that's when they were able to see that I had stage 4 endo. And then I was diagnosed with adenomyosis more recent, but my surgery was in 2022. So yeah, we definitely understand each other. Um, right now, I think they told me my left ovary is kind of sticking to my uterus. So I did a live some days back or weeks back where I did talk more about endometriosis. I said I'm gonna talk about it again because I feel like there's a lot of information that isn't accurate that's been put out about endo. So I definitely want to spread the word and give more knowledge. But that is why I juice, y'all. This is why I juice because with endo, you can definitely wake up very inflamed. And so I don't know if it's a mind game or not, but to me, when I drink the juice or I have a little ginger root, for some reason I feel like it soothes my body. So the last thing I'm gonna add is the ginger root. I learned how all these conditions are rooted in deep inflammation and hormonal imbalance. I definitely have to do some different things in regards to how I was living. I created my podcast, just document different experiences. That's why we juice. Okay, that's awesome. So I'm definitely gonna check you out, for sure. So I'm gonna make this up, you all, before I'm gonna pour it in jar for you all to see what it looks like. So you definitely understand where I'm coming from. So Hassan, it definitely has that foam on top. So I know you may not like that, but I really think that came from the carrot and beetroot. Yeah, Hassan, you've been here for a very long time. So I appreciate you all. You can see the foam even on the straw. So I'm gonna bring it out front and I'm gonna pour it in so you all can see. So I think for the most part, we already know what color this is gonna turn out to be. It's gonna be like the yellow golden color, even though that's not what I was going for, but that's what we're gonna get today. So let's go ahead and pour it in here. I wasn't even going for this color this time. That's the crazy part. But I did have a lot of yellow up here. And like I told y'all, just like anytime you use a beet, it's going to take over the color. Like it doesn't matter. Um, so I should have known that when I started to use the gold beets, that's the color I was gonna get. I almost thought about using strawberries, and I think that would have really affected the color. But y'all, I told y'all when I go to the store, I shop on a budget. I wasn't about to buy no strawberries for almost $8. Not that serious. Um, so it is a pretty color though. It is a pretty color. I think you can never go wrong with this color. What do you think I'm gonna taste the most? The pineapple, the rainbow carrot, the nectarine, the red plum cots, lemon, or ginger. Yeah, I know ginger is always like a really close contender when it comes to the taste because it just takes over. So this time when I juiced, I didn't use a lot of ginger, so I'm not really sure that's gonna take over a lot. Definitely the pineapple and ginger. Okay. Um, I think you might be right. Let's see. Let me mix it up a little more. Okay, Artivore, you say ginger. I didn't use as much as I did last time, y'all. I feel a little better knowing that I'm doing my ginger shots because I used to feel like I was gonna waste the ginger. So now I don't feel so bad when I don't use as much. I might throw this piece in there if I'm not tasting a lot of the ginger root. But okay, let's see. Y'all, that is delicious. I'm trying to see what I'm tasting though. The pineapple. The pineapple did its big one because I do think the pine, and I don't taste the ginger root. So I am going to add some ginger root because I don't taste it, which is a good thing. But you know what? I still got some more in here. So pour that back in there. So I am going to do some more ginger root. You do get it right, Hassan. So the pineapple definitely helped break that earthly taste. That's what I was looking for, earthly. So beets give you like a very earthly, like as if I picked up some dirt type taste. So in order to break that earthly taste up, pineapple is always a good go-to. Because beets they have a really they're so beneficial. So I'm gonna add in this ginger root. So that was a good amount of ginger root. So I'm gonna mix it up. Yeah, it's a very earthly type of taste when it comes to beets. Okay, let's see. But that did good. That gave me exactly like the 16 ounces. Let's see. I still don't taste it. So that's great. I'm not adding any more. That is really good though. I would definitely say I'm happy that it tastes good, considering that I did use last time I juiced. The reason why it was delicious, that's when we did the orange. The reason why, what's up, Doc? The reason why that one was so delicious because I didn't use any veggies. It was all fruits. But this time around, considering that I did use carrots and I did use beets, I'm actually happy with the way it came out. Pineapple, like I said, you can't go wrong with pineapple. Lemon, can't go wrong with that. So overall, I'm very, very, very happy with the taste. I'm gonna do after I get off live. I am going to add some more of my nectarines and plum clot to the next one, and I'm gonna see if the color changes any, and I'll let you all know. But definitely delicious. Remember, I only spent $16, and I probably could have spent less if I really wanted to, but I never know how many ingredients I'm really gonna need. So I just got like six of these. I got six nectarines, and they're by the pound, right? With the beets, they're gonna come. It's one price regardless. So that's just based off of the bunch. So yeah, this is actually really, really good. Remember, vitamin A and vitamin C are like two things you're also really looking for. The vitamin C is what improves the iron absorption, and it can help with the collagen with your skin. It helps produces more. Just got a single watermelon and the ginger and lemon. You got lemon. Yeah, I might have to try that. Sometimes, going simple is better than adding so many different ingredients. But I just love the great mix. I feel very healthy when I have so many fruits and veggies. Y'all already know vitamin A is what helps your vision. So a lot of times, you definitely gonna see that with your carrots. Um, and it's great for growth and development. So anybody who's trying to have kids and you're having trouble, you're struggling a little bit, definitely make sure you're getting your vitamin A, vitamin C, and this just out of what the doctors already kind of talk about. They talk about like the folate, prenatal, and all that. You want to make sure you're getting your minerals in. So this is definitely delicious. So now I have to make sure I juice the rest of this. Because I don't want to waste any of the ingredients. I don't think there was as much. Let's see how much waste. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm gonna show y'all up close to the camera so y'all can see. So I don't know if you can see that, but normally by the time I finish juicing, this thing is full, but it wasn't that bad. So I'm actually happy. I'll probably be able to juice um my other two containers or my other two jars without having to clean this out. So I'm actually happy about that. So tomorrow, before I jump off, let me let you all know that tomorrow is arm day. So remember, when we're trying to hit those buys, get rid of the bat wings. We hit that upper back, get rid of that bra fat. So join me tomorrow, 11:30. We're going to be working these arms and upper back. Tuesday, I'm walking, so join me for a chat. And I'll continue to tell you what I have going on for the week. But make sure you join me Monday and Tuesday. But thank you all for jumping on and keeping me accountable when it comes to juicing. Oh, okay, you're right, Hassan. What's the name of the juice? We don't have Pow Pow on here. So Hassan, you think of a good name or anybody else who wants to name it? We always try to name the juice. The sunflower juice? Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. It does give that yellow orange color from the sunflower. Um, so yes, I'll take that, Hassan. I like that. The sunflower juice. So thank you all for keeping me accountable. Remember, it's easier for me to do this knowing that you all are looking for me to jump on here and juice with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna knock out two more containers. Yeah, that's good. I'm telling you, I need to open up a juice bar, but because the color, yeah, you got it, Hassan. So yeah, we're gonna name it sunflower juice. But y'all have a good one. Be nice, be kind. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.